Hi there. Today on this Millennial Review, we're taking a look at the Rigid Gen5x 18 volt 4-tool set. Now this set that we have here, this happens to be the limited edition blackout version of this set. Now all of these tools that are inside are the standard Gen5x tools, so they work with all the other 18 volt rigid tools. So this lineup can either join the stuff that you already have, or it can be a great starter set. Now part of the reason that I wanted to pick this up is the limited edition is pretty neat, but the other thing is it does have pretty much the best toolkit to start with. So they do sell this again in that the standard orange, the normal colors. Now looking at this set, we're going to have in here a 4.5-inch angle grinder, a hammer drill, so it's got a 3-speed hammer drill there. It's got their most powerful 18 volt impact driver, and then you also have the skill saw there, or the circular saw, depending on what you call it. Now this is also going to come with two 4 amp hour batteries, which are the high power, high performance and long lasting batteries. Now let's go ahead and pop this box open, see what we got inside. Alright, so we're going to pop this apart here. You'll notice that it looks like it comes with a nice large rigid bag. So we'll pull that out, toss the box out to the side. Now looking at this bag, you've got nice 3 pockets here up front. On the back side, if we spin that around, it has those same 3 pockets again, some gray on the sides, and then let's take a look at what the bottom looks like. Some rubbery plastic feet to help it slide across and not get out of control. Well, let's go ahead and open this bag up here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the zipper. Comes across the top. Pop that open. And there we go. Now to start out, we're going to have the Rigid Impact. So this is their Gen5x Impact. This is the high performance version. It looks like you have about, look at that, 3,500 RPM. This does have the 3 lights across the front. We'll take a closer look at that pretty soon. But nice looking drill, or impact rather. Then inside of here, we're going to have our 18 volt hammer drill. So this hammer drill, also a nice looking unit. It's got your adjustable clutch, as well as your 3 modes for drill, drive, or hammer. This one will also have the light up front, so it does have an LED light, and then you're going to have a real nice chuck on this. It does have that lock back feature, which is quite nice. Now as we go further in, we've got our saw blade here, and then we're also going to have our angle grinder 4.5-inch disc. So put that to the side. It does come with a handle for the hammer drill, so put that aside as well. Get some of this packaging out of the way. Now inside of here, our next up is our circular saw. So we've got this great looking circular saw here. As you can tell, it's got the black finish, this base plate being aluminum and in that nice orange color. Sure looks great. Let's put that aside. Go further in. This is their Gen5x Brushless 4.5-inch angle grinder. Looks pretty nice. The weight is quite good on it. Keep getting rid of this packaging. All right. Now we're getting into our first of the 2 4 amp hour lithium ion batteries. Looks like it's shipping with 2 bars of power. Got our second one here. Let's put that to the side. And then what's pretty nice is Rigid does send this kit with their fast charging Gen5x battery charger. So this charges the batteries quite a bit quicker than the standard one. It also does have some mounts on the back, so you can toss it up on a wall or something like that. But we'll put that to the side. Nice smart charger. And then it looks like here we've got the tool for our 4.5-inch angle grinder, as well as the handle to attach to it. Now that we've got this unboxed, let's take a little bit closer look at each of the tools that came with it. What we have here is the Rigid Gen5x 18-volt brushless 1/4 inch 3-speed impact. So this impact driver is from the Gen5x series, and it's model number R86037. Now this drill is a 18-volt drill. It runs off of the standard Rigid 18-volt batteries and the like. And this particular one is in their blackout color series, but it's the same as any of the others. Now, when we take a look at it, a couple of things I can mention is it does feel really great in hand. Trigger pull feels nice. Overall, it's a really well-weighted tool. It's relatively compact considering the amount of power. And speaking about power, you actually get 2,250 inch-pounds of force, or rather torque, out of this driver, which is really quite good. The other thing that you get is a adjustable speed. So up top you've got 3 speeds on this gearbox, so you can kind of click it through to what feels right and what's going to work correctly for the application, so you don't just blow through the material you're working on. And it'll actually have a maximum speed of about 2,750 RPM, which is quite quick. Now in it, a couple of things to mention is it does come with some belt clips. You'll notice, much like most of the parts on this tool, it is ambidextrous. You can set it up on the left or the right side, just like you can adjust the direction forward or backwards just on this toggle switch right here. Now it does have a lockout, which prevents you from pulling the trigger, as well as when you push it over, you are going to have variable speed control, so it's not just on and off. The switch is really quite useful. Now, as we take a look at it, let's go ahead and toss our battery on. This happens to be a 4 amp hour battery, but like I said, it'll work with any of the Rigid 18-volt batteries that are out there. It does come with a Phillips head bit here. Now, to install the bit, you're going to slide it in. You'll notice that it gets caught. Go ahead and pull the chuck forward, and it'll actually pop right out. So that's how that's going to work as far as installing the bit. Pull it forward, slides right in, and you're locked into place. Now, once in there, you're going to be able to adjust the speed. One's going to be nice and slow, 2's a little quicker, and then that 3 is the 2,750 RPM that we talked about. Now, as we take a look at it, one of the things that I do like is you'll notice these 3 lights on the top of the drill. They'll stay on, as well as give you a little bit of light to what you're doing. It really helps light up whatever material you're working on. And to activate it, you actually have this button down on the bottom of the drill. If we press that, which is done just by your hand grip, that'll actually turn the lights on. So it does have a delay where the lights run for a little while, and that really helps make this drill very useful, especially in some dark and tight places to use it. Alright, so right here we have the Gen5x hammer drill. This is the model number R8116. This is a 1/2 inch brushless hammer drill. I've got it sitting here with a 4 amp hour battery, and we'll take a look at it. This drill is available both as just a drill, or you can buy it within a set. Now, as we take a look at it, one of the neat features about this particular drill is that it has 700 inch-pounds of power, which is quite a bit. And the other interesting thing about it is that it can actually spin up at about 2100 RPM, which is nice and fast. Now, as we take a look at it, there's a couple of things that I do definitely like about the drill. So the first is going to be right here on the side. It is ambidextrous, so that way you can flip between hammer mode, your driving mode, or your drilling mode. So you can really affect how the gearing and the motor is going to work out. The other thing is you've got a real smooth dial for the driver's clutch. Now that is also a nice feature. It's got small little indents, so you can definitely feel kind of as it changes, and just the position that you're in. And on the top there, you'll see you actually have 2 speeds for the drill, so that's a nice feature as well. Now, as we're talking about this, in the hammer mode, you are going to get about 27,300 impacts per minute, so it's going to be really strong and super effective. And when we connect up our battery pack here, you can see that in our 2 modes, you can adjust how fast it goes, and then you've got a ambidextrous forward and backwards, as well as the lock mode where the trigger is not going to do anything. Now, taking a look at this, as we also go through, one of the things that I definitely like about it is going to be the lockable chuck. So as you kind of go in, you can hear that it'll lock into place, which is a nice thing. We'll go ahead and toss the included bit on here. So unscrew that there, toss this right in, and there we go. Now down on the bottom you can see there is an LED light that turns on when you start to pull the trigger. What is pretty neat about it is it definitely it stays on for a little while, and if you just lightly hit this bottom button, that's actually what's going to activate the light. So you can turn the light on even when you're not using the drill, say if you're locating where the screw is going to be or stuff like that. Now, you of course do have this attachment on the top, which is going to allow you to basically have a handle. This is useful when trying to do some of those drilling motions, to be able to have extra leverage so it doesn't try to tear your wrist off. As we talk about that, you'll notice that you can actually set this up in 3 different positions depending on how you need to hold the drill, like that. And overall, I think this R86116 drill is a really nice addition to somebody's rigid 18-volt lineup. This is a Gen 5X, so it's going to be entirely brushless. It has nice rubber stippling around the handle grip, and all of the great features that we've come to know from Rigid. So we've got here the Rigid R8653, which is a Gen 5X brushless circular saw or skill saw, depending on where you're from. Now, this saw is pretty neat. It runs off of their standard 18-volt batteries, just like everything else in the Rigid 18-volt lineup. Now, it's a 7¼ inch saw, so it can run with any standard 7¼ inch circular saw blade. So you've got some really great options, and being that it's brushless, your period of time that you can operate this is going to be quite a bit longer than many of the drills and saws that are out there. Now, as we take a look through, some of the neat things about this saw is going to be that your blade depth is about 2¼ or 2.4 inches. So that means you can get through quite a bit of different sized lumber, which is a nice feature for sure. And then you can actually adjust the blade's bevel by about 56 degrees just by opening that up, and then you're able to adjust the bevel. Now with that, you've got an extra handle right on the side of the drill. You're able to do quite a bit of adjustment as far as the placement and setup of where the blade goes. And one of the things that I certainly like about it is, as you click into the battery here, you'll notice that it's actually got an LED light. It's going to be hard to see on the screen here, but it's got a light to help light up the subject and the piece of wood that you're working on. Now, you do have, of course, your automatic blade protector to help you from getting hurt. And then as you look through, it actually comes with the Allen key to be able to install the blade. So let's go ahead and be safe, take the battery out, and I'll show you how to install the blade. Now, as you can see, if we use this Allen key to start to unscrew the placeholder or the nut that's going to be able to put in the blade, it's actually just going to spin the motor. So what you see here is you've actually got this button, and that button is going to lock the chuck in place so that you can unscrew the head of the bolt here. So let's go ahead and take that off. You'll notice that it does have a square locator, and we can take the included blade that actually comes with this this saw, and just remember, you want to make sure that you do have it unplugged, because it would be a very bad thing to accidentally of course run the drill. Now this is keyed, so you slide that into place, and then you're going to have your bolt to tighten up. So we'll go ahead, snug that up there. You can let loose of the blade protector, and then just press and hold the button again, and that's how you can actually install the blade. Now, like I was showing you, there's a great little spot to place that Allen key, so you always have it with you and it's out of the way. And let's go ahead, slide the battery in, and just see the drill operate. Now, if you were to press the trigger on the circular saw here, you'll notice that it won't do anything. You've actually got to press the safety button that's up top. Now this is ambidextrous, so regardless of how you're going to use the drill. So if we press that down, grab our extra handle, you can see it go ahead and go. The other neat thing is, with this brushless setup, the saw blade itself is going to automatically stop. It's got a brake that's installed on there. See how quickly it stops? That's going to help make sure that you get a clear cut and you don't have the chance of damage. So what we have here is the rigid 4.5-inch angle grinder. This angle grinder itself is the model number R86041. It is their Gen5x Brushless motor angle grinder. Now, this particular one is a 4.5-inch, which allows it to work with most of the standard size, cutting blades or grinding blades that are out there. And it's got a maximum RPM of about 8,500, which is nice and quick. And with the brushless motor, it's going to be plenty powerful, as well as have a pretty long-lasting battery, considering the kind of the application of this. Now, when we take a look at this angle grinder here, what we're going to see is one of the features that I think I like most about it, and that's going to be the hood or the protector for the blade. Now, we don't have the blade installed just yet. I'll show you how to do that, but you can see actually on the side it's got this button, and that allows you to adjust the position of the hood or the protector without actually having to use any tools. Now, that allows you to move it around into all different positions. You can actually go 360 degrees around. And one of the things that I like most is you can actually press and hold it and slide it entirely off. So if for some reason you needed to use the angle grinder without a hood at all, you can actually slide it off, and you can see there we've got some little indentations, which make sure that you install this properly. So it's only going to be able to go on one way, and you press the button, it comes on and off. So that'll slide right back into place, and you can lock it into all different directions. Other thing I like is this does have a lock to keep it in place, so if you press down on the button, you can slide the power button on and it'll lock in place. If you're really working on something, you don't have to worry about holding your hand on that the entire time. But if in an emergency you needed to just shut it off, a quick bump can shut it off entirely. Now, the other thing that's neat and is a great thing is not only the handle adjustable as far as being ambidextrous left or right. You can actually screw the handle on anywhere. You can screw it onto the top too, which really allows you a great place in case you're working on some material where you needed to hold it that way, or you can have it entirely off and really just control freehand. Now, what we'll take a look at next is installing our 4.5-inch pad here. So we'll take this, and how to do it, if you try to just turn lefty loosey or righty tighty, this is actually going to move around. So you've got a lock right on top to lock the motor in place. It does come with the tool to take the blade on and off. And so once you do that, you can just slide this right into place, use your tool, and just tighten it right back up. And remember, we're pressing and holding that button, and that'll tighten back up into place. You can install your handle right here, and then in this case, because we've got our handle there, we'll have the hood or the protector right to the side. Now let's go ahead and install a battery just so you can see it operate. Battery just slides right into the back, just like that. And there we go. That's a look at the 4.5-inch angle grinder from the Gen 5 lineup. Thanks for taking a look at the Gen5x set with me here, the 4-tool combo. We took a look at the 1/4-inch impact, the 1/2-inch hammer drill, a 4.5-inch grinder, and then of course the 7.25-inch circular saw. Overall, I think these tools look great. I appreciate the blackout edition, kind of the neat look to these tools, and can't wait to use them.